everybody, welcome to Excel video 416. I'm Nate Moore. This is just a short paragraph from the book I wrote, Better Data, Better Decisions, Using Business Intelligence in a Medical Practice with my friend Mona Reimers. There's an entire chapter about ways to present data to make it more efficient, more effective as your physicians, as your administrators try to understand what you're creating. And one of those principles is to avoid pie charts, and you'll see a couple of reasons why. That, folks are used to it and they've seen a lot of them. But that circular shape, it takes up a lot of space. It's really, really hard to figure out here the difference between the second and the third biggest slices of the pie and how much bigger is the second slice than the fifth slice. There are a bunch of ideas throughout Better Data, Better Decisions that can make your reports a whole lot better. There's a link to buy the book at MGMA's store right there on the webpage. Back to Visual Basic, I want to talk about some more ways to watch data change as your code runs. So if you've got a problem, you can debug it and figure out what's going on. And today what I want to talk about, from the View menu, we're going to talk about the Watch window. And what a Watch window is it's different. Remember last time when we did the immediate window, when we did this, you had to hit enter on that line every time you wanted to see what was going on. It wasn't live. It didn't change as the code changed. What you can do with a watch is say, I want to watch this cell or this address or this variable or this whatever throughout the entire course of the macro or the VBA code that I'm running. And you tell me every time it changes. I don't want to have to go look for it. So when I open the Watches window, I'm going to right click and add a watch. And let's just do two. Let's just do the selection that I have dot address. I want to know where I am in the spreadsheet. And then the context says, okay, when this procedure runs, learn something, or module 4, that's what I want to do. This is the part that's interesting. You can watch, that's the default. I just want to see what happens. You can break. You remember we did the breakpoints in an earlier Excel video where you can make the code stop? You can make the code stop when this value equals true, or even when the value changes. Hey, I can't figure out why this number's changing on me. You just stop as soon as it changes, and then I can see what the macro was doing when the code changed and get to the bottom of it. So that's the first one I'm going to build. Second one I'm going to build is I've just played with a little bit of code in here. I've got this, don't get too worked up about range. We're going to talk an awful lot more about ranges. But what I'm doing is I'm setting cell M5 to 5, and if you come down here, I'm setting it to 23, and down here, I'm setting it to the value of what M5 was times 2. So I want to watch this range M5 value as well. So I'm going to right click, add a watch, range, and then you've got to put the cell M5 in quotes dot value. I want to watch what happens to that value. And again, I'm not going to break anything. I don't want to stop running my code. I just want to see what happens. So I'm going to come over here, and I've got these two watches set up. And right now, out of context, I don't have any context or any information about this value yet. This is just telling, or Excel telling you, I guess, what type of value is going to go in this expression. And the context is where this learn something is the name of our module that we're going to run. What I'm interested in is value. So I'm going to come over here. We're going to do our old F8 trick like we had before. And as soon as I do something, it says, oh, M5's value is 46. And if I came over here, got to click the right box. There we go. It sure is M46. And I'm in cell M1. Okay. So now let's watch the code run for a minute. So we'll come over here and we'll just do F8. Now we just set M5's value to 5. So I'm still in cell M1, but I changed M5's value and now it's 5. Now watch what happens when I change the range with another F8. Now the selection address changes here. See, as I change, as my macro runs, these values update for me live. So I can just go F8 and watch what happens. I wonder what makes that range M5 change. Well, I can keep going. Oh, the address changed. And we'll just skip past that test. I'm not worked up about that. Let's just drag this down to here. That's just because I was playing. Now, if I go F8 again, now we're going to watch this change from 5 to 23. And now watch, it's 23 when I run this line of code. It jumps to 46. The watch window is a great way to watch things happen live as opposed to the immediate window. When you want to look at things occasionally along the way, I'd use the immediate window. When you want to see everything that happens to that cell, use the watch window. And the other thing you can do besides the immediate window, besides the watch window, is you can just hover. If I wanted to come where something, I'm going to hover over range M5 value, and it's going to tell me the value is 46. Even though this line of code says set it to 23, if I hover over it, it says the value is currently 46 because I just ran this piece of code. Where I can hover, this is already set here. If I hover other places, this is a constant. You can hover all over the place, and if you find, see if we can find something else. This is going to be true, and you can hover over this. This is going to be true. This is currently true, but I'm going to make it false. You can hover to get information as well. So 3 ways to get information when you're running a macro. Whoops, you got to go to view first. There we go. The immediate window, the watch window, or just plain hover. If you hover over anything with a value, Excel will tell you right there what it is. That's plenty of debugging tools, and we've kind of gone through a whole bunch of fundamentals to get through how to record a macro and how to debug. What I want to start next Excel video on is, what is this range thing? What's going on with ranges? How do we select cells and ranges, and how do we start to navigate our way around Excel when we're writing macros and VBA? We'll do that in the next Excel video. Thanks for watching.